Hello and welcome to Final Show Films. I'm the executive producer here, John Bates, and I've got a few pre-show notes for you. First of all, I'd like to thank our $25 tier supporters, Antitonic, Waterflame, Samantha Bates, and Maureen Montee, without whom we wouldn't be able to do much, especially not all the content that we put forward now. I also want to thank all the people that have joined on with us since the, I would say, successful experiment that was Midsummer Night's Dream. If you're interested in that, go check out our YouTube channel, where youtube.com/Sensaku, where we performed the world's first, as far as we're aware, live stream production of a community theater performance of A Midsummer Night's Dream. That sounds like a lot of qualifiers. It's more just because that's the way I talk. Please go enjoy them, give us feedback, let us know if you'd like to see more of that in the future. If you'd like to support us financially, you can do so on our Patreon page at patreon.com/FSFilms. You can also follow us on Twitter at Final Show Films, or follow me personally at John A. Bates for all future updates and live notifications for our live stream. In the meantime, sit back, relax, enjoy. Hello everybody and welcome back to Gran Terra Rebirth. I'm John, your game master and executive producer here for the evening, and joining me today is William.
Hi, I'm William and I'm playing Gashkar, the half-orc barbarian sorceress.
And Jeremy.
Hi, I'm Jeremy. I am playing Harry, the halfling battlemaster fighter rogue.
And Mara.
Hi, I'm Mara, and I'm playing Hope, the rogue barbarian monk Asmar person that I forgot at the beginning of that sentence, but there it is.
And Aaron.
Hi, I'm Aaron. I am playing Lulu, the halfling hunter and cleric of blood werewolf.
And Cody.
I'm Cody. I'm playing Corbin, the human battlemaster paladin. I'm playing all the classes. I've swapped them out.
And Jack.
Hey everybody, I'm Jack. I'm playing Gwynfron Manar, the high elf divination wizard, and the only one of these chuckle fucks that's qualified to summon an orgy, as well as Ashkel, the wood elf warlock who lives in his brain.
And the only one that isn't multiclassed.
Yep.
So, last time on Gran Terra. Multi-character, not multi-class.
We have everything except for a bard.
Yes.
Last time on Gran Terra, the group tracked down, we're told where to go, and fought some sort of abomination that had apparently gone on a murder spree in the town, starting with the former Shrine of the Eternal Flame that Hope used to be from. After killing the creature, they decided to harvest some body parts for themselves, and... Excuse me. If we get a burp that starts building up, and then it takes like a minute before it actually gets out. Anyways. They first harvested parts, then paraded it through the town, then took it to Galadir, the resident high-powered wizard that sits in a portable tower north of Kor currently. On the way there, Hope broke off from the group and went to gather a priest to see if they could interrogate the corpse's brain, and also went to do some bureaucracy stuff. Discovered that she was late for her meeting with the Ebony Judicator by 3 days. Scheduled another meeting for that evening, and then headed back to the tower, where it had a little bit of heartfelt discussion, with all the air quotes, between Hope, Gwynfron, and Harry. Then, afterwards, the three of them returned into the tower to rejoin the rest of the party, who were up with Galadir, who was in the middle of inspecting this corpse, which is where we will pick back up. So, the three of you climb back up to the arcane laboratory, where the priest of Dagoth has just recently arrived. and Galadir looking up at the group of you. Has been sort of like those of you that have been in the room with him that have been caring to pay attention and have been distracted by the various other magical accoutrements within the room. I've noticed that he has mostly been sort of walking around the corpse, occasionally waving a hand, and magical sparks and lights would appear over and around the body, but hasn't actually bit into it with any tools or utensils or anything. The relieved arm and eyeballs having been stacked separately but still there so he can look at them but not claim them, as they have already previously been claimed by Harry and a few others. And he's basically just sort of circling around it and inspecting. Well, I'm assuming that you all would like to know what this is, he says, looking at the group, now that all of you have come into the room.
Very much so.
Yes.
A dead thing. There. I
Mary's
answered the
right.
question.
In addition to being a dead thing, it seems to be some sort of abomination using an orc as its base, comprised of dragon scales and claws, Balanoth tentacles, Displacer Beast tentacles, the arm and jaw of a dire troll, Beholder eyes, as well as the eye of an astral dreadnought, the teeth of an Otyugh, and the brain of something very different. But I'm not sure what. But, he says, looking over at the cleric, I may be able to determine what with the assistance of our friend of Dagoth here. If you would. The priest of Dagoth comes over and casts Speak with the Dead. The body sort of lurches up and snaps its head forward, looking at the priest. The priest asks it, very simply, what is your name? And gets a response of howling and growling and nothing really intelligible. Galadir sort of shrugs. I didn't think it would be able to speak, but at least we've got that confirmed. But it is active. Its brain is active currently, which means I can do this.
Can I tell if it is being honest about whatever it's trying to say?
Sure, give me an insight roll.
Yeah. May I as well?
Go ahead.
This is weird. Okay.
Because this is weird and mildly interesting
Sure,
to me.
I will insight check the
12.
The screaming
I
corpse
still have foresight, correct, Jack? Or
Yep.
Did that drop?
lasts for 24 hours, I believe.
Yeah. If it's trying to
Elaborate.
lie.
Gwyn dispelled it or something.
Nope.
None of you are able to determine whether or not it's lying or telling the truth, because that requires you understanding what it's saying.
You know what I
However, you are able to determine that it is speaking. It's not just a meaningless series of growls. There is some underlying language there. It is simply a language none of you know.
No one have the magic to comprehend languages.
This
Mm.
motherfucker
Of course
have
I do.
Jack. I know I have magic. I don't think that's a thing I can do yet.
This motherfucker had
Do it.
thought.
So Gwyn's gonna cast tongues on himself.
Okay. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw as it continues to talk, 'cause it's still talking.
Okay. Oh, let me check one thing before I cast tongues.
Tongues let you understand. Theoretically.
Yeah, I'm just checking to see if... Nope, okay. All right, cool. If I could do it through Weaveborn, or if I had to use my own spell slot.
I mean, if Weaveborn has charges.
Weaveborn's got a shit ton of charges, but I don't think tongues is one of the ones he has.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. But yeah, wisdom save?
Yes.
Cool. 28.
You instinctively recoil and drop the spell.
Okay.
You were
Ow.
not able to understand what it was, but the attempt to understand was physically painful. You managed to drop the spell before you took any damage, though.
Yeah, whatever this thing's saying, there's something this thing is wrong enough that understanding its speech can literally harm your mind
For the record,
from a
when
physical standpoint.
When Gwyn went ow, Harry just walked up and buried the axe in its face.
It's still talking.
Yeah, it's already dead.
I know that, but
Can't feel
it's
you.
hurting people.
There's principles.
So there's an axe now buried in its face, and it's talking around. It's sort of messing up the cadence a little bit, but it's not stopping it.
That's okay. Messing up the cadence screws up the potential comprehension, which is the goal.
Gwynfron, you recognize the look on Galadier's face. Having informed him that the speech hurt. It's the same look on his face that he had before he threw himself into the abyss. It's this, really? Fascinating.
So basically, for Galadier, I'm hitting all the selling points again.
Yes.
Right.
Were you the one who got him to throw himself into the abyss?
I was not.
Aw.
I almost was impressed and
That was his own. That was his own initiative.
His own curiosity.
Yeah, I was gonna say he did that of his own accord.
Well then, I'm very curious as to what will happen now. And he pulls out a scroll.
Gwyn sort of pulls out Weaveborn and just starts nudging people back a little bit.
Puts it down, pulls out a pen, puts his hand to the pen, and puts his other hand to the head, to the back of the head on the opposite side from where the axe is, of the creature, and focuses. And Gwyn, you can feel magic beginning to happen.
I'm definitely casting detect magic through Weaveborn, so I can see exactly what's going on.
So you can see that Galadier is using his interrogation spell, the spell that he uses to sort of literally go into somebody's brain and rip out information. As the magic attaches to the brain of the creature, you watch this sort of purplish black feedback ripple back up the magic into his brain. The rest of you watch Galadier's eyes roll into the back of his head and his body collapse.
Is his hand still writing?
No. He just hits the ground.
Go forward, it's dead.
He is dead.
Stop!
Well, we've probably got a few minutes before one of his clones wakes up.
One of the tubes on the wall.
Or right now.
You hear a sound that draws your attention to one side, where a metal tube opens up and a completely nude Galadier steps out.
As soon as I hear the axe comes out of the face and goes in that direction.
Okay, are you throwing it?
Yeah.
Make an attack roll.
I'm casting shield.
Okay.
Can you cast shield on other people?
I'm casting shield and leaping in front of it, I should say.
Okay.
No, wait. You can't stop Harry from throwing.
Right.
Do you have what, Harry?
Oh no, I guess that doesn't matter for this, unless somehow I have advantage on the attack.
As far as I know, you don't.
Okay.
How does the Dagoth priest seem to feel about this?
22.
Give me an insight
Ow,
check.
that hits.
Give me an insight check. Roll damage.
Okay. Insight.
Oh, not you. Lulu was asking about the priest of Dagoth.
Okay.
You roll damage.
Natural 20.
Is this a surprise attack and thus have sneak attack damage?
No.
Okay. 8 slashing damage because I rolled minimum damage.
So Gwen
I'm
Ferron,
very glad.
you take. So Harry, you turn, fling the axe. Galadir sort of looks up, surprised, as Gwen Ferron jumps between him and the axe and gets nailed by the axe. Lulu,
Is wizard stupidity contagious? What the fuck?
Harry, he's just... Galadir is fine. He's here. This is normal. For a given value of normal.
Lulu, with your natural 20. The priest of Dagoth seems at equal parts disgusted, unnerved, and concerned, but you're not sure about what. It's just sort of, it's hard to read because the mask is on, but you can definitely tell that those three things are occurring simultaneously.
Harry walks up, pulls the axe out of Gwen. There is fucking nothing normal about this. And I just want to say, realize this is me saying this, so the bar is super, super low. That
Gwen,
was some
Gwen,
dumbass
can I
shit.
try something? I want to try something.
Understood.
I'm going
Harry.
to try something. Gwen, attention.
Yes.
And I'm going to reach out and pull his blood to knit his skin back together with Healing Word.
Cast Healing Word.
It's not formatted quite right, so it's just going to do it like this. But there we go.
All right. You get 5 points of health back as Lulu reaches out. And you sort of feel this weird tugging sensation and look down as the wound you received knits itself back together and closed.
It looks like he's just pushing your blood around so it goes to the right place.
Somehow
Isn't
that is
that
the least weird thing that's happened in the last couple minutes.
I thought that might work. Cool. I can do that.
I'm rummaging in my bag for the robe that Selena gave me like years and years ago.
Yes.
Galadir walks over to his own corpse and begins disrobing it and putting his own stuff back on.
That's weirder. Okay.
That's just.
What did you see?
That's just downright unsettling.
As he does so, he gets over, retrieves all of his stuff from his own corpse, looks down at his own corpse, grabs his staff, taps it, and the body disappears.
Not better.
Damn it.
That's a worse thing to hear after that.
Well,
because it's not your body, so what did you want to do with it?
I wanted to see if you could cast Speak with Dead on that one and what would happen.
God.
Since but also...
The answer is nothing would happen.
Yes, it's confirmed. Wizard stupidity is contagious.
Yep. Stay away from me when
that one, it doesn't work because the soul's not there, right?
Anyways,
Correct.
Galadir,
can you still use it for necromancy purposes?
Yes. Anyways.
That's a little concerning.
I'm
what's out of curiosity?
Entirely obvious. I am trying to egg on the priest we have using Speak with Dead and make him as uncomfortable as possible.
Out of curiosity, William, is it more uncomfortable the idea that you can, or the fact that Galadir answered yes with no hesitation?
The fact that Galadir knew that he could.
Right off the bat.
Off the top of his head.
Of course, with no hesitation. Galadir looks
in the basement.
Galadir looks over at the priest, who is still just sort of standing there silently, tilts his head. Look, I know you have these tenets and everything, but if your god was really that bothered by it, I'd still be dead. At which point...
That's not how it works.
At which point the priest just sort of turns and walks off, leaving
That's
the tower.
actively not how it works, because his god might be different.
What did you see?
Y'all are fucked up, and she just turns around and walks out.
Oh God.
Well, as to what I saw, how familiar are all of you with the astral plane?
Not at all.
Slightly more than I was 2 weeks ago.
GM, how familiar am I with the astral plane?
Give me a religion check.
I was going to ask the same.
Give me a religion check.
I mean, I still have advantage on all these things.
Yes, you do.
12. That's actually pretty good.
22.
So Lulu, you know the astral plane is another plane that is associated, that is sort of different from the plane you're on, and associated, kind of like how the Feywild is a different plane from what you're on, and associated. You don't know any fine details about it though. Corbin, you know that the astral plane is sort of a meta plane that exists just outside of the material plane, similar to the ethereal and the shadow and Shadowfell, where it's like they're kind of there are layers of planes. Some are larger, some are more dominant than others. You know, the astral plane is a connective plane.
Semi-contiguous.
Gwynfron, you're fairly familiar with the astral plane. It is the plane that connects all other planes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can, from the astral plane, you can get to any other plane.
It's fantasy space.
It's the plane of knowledge from EverQuest.
It's not even fantasy space, because space still exists. The astral plane is magic space.
Magic space. Yeah, and fairly affiliated with divine beings of many alignments, I assume.
Yeah, the astral plane. The astral plane is a neutral plane for the most part.
Yep.
It's not alignment coded or anything.
Right, and it's mostly where the gods hang out, I assume.
No, it is not.
Okay. Okay, yeah, no, that's fair.
The gods have their own divine planes that are alignment coded. Like, you know, you have planes of law and planes of chaos and planes of good and planes of evil.
I imagine that's where the gods would have to meet if they needed to like have a neutral ground.
Theoretically, they could. The gods can traverse the astral plane much easier than they can the material.
Less stuff to break.
Well, the astral plane is a connective space between all other planes. Think of it as a sea of stars and magic, and there are entities within this space between planes. In particular, the astral plane connects our reality to others. There are as many other realities, other material planes, as there are individuals on this planet and more. In the space between those planes, and in the space between other planes, lie creatures of mystery, intrigue, enigmas given form. It's very hard to explain because they are very unexplainable.
I'm so glad Harry's not here.
This creature, from what I could tell before I died, was woven by such a creature. Put together by... Some texts refer to them as gods, though they're less divine and more simply otherworldly. Void lords. Creatures that rule the nether space between planes. As to why or what it wants, I really couldn't tell you. I merely glimpsed the mind of the being that created this thing. It looked at me, and that happened, he says, pointing to where his body was.
Well, then.
Though what you've done to draw the attention of one of those creatures, I don't know.
Hell, I can think of a few things.
Can you?
Oh, aye. We've been treating with some fairly powerful beings, and there's some of us what are in touch with rather potent entities, and given the focus that we've had on Tower of the Gods, rebuilding the material planes, I wouldn't be surprised if we're attracting a bit of attention now, aren't we?
What does this have to? How does this connect with the tower and the demons in there that are infesting it? How did they?
Well, think about it. If we're the, motive force between rebuilding an entire sector of reality, and not much else on this planet's been doing significance in forms of contribution to that end, I feel like all y'all wandering around, not exactly keeping a low profile, you're going to be showing up on the notice boards, as it were.
Makes sense if we were, but it showed up at Hope's Temple and ours.
Oh, aye, it's Hope's Temple. It's her family. Those things can probably smell familial connections and the like, or at least have insight into the minds and the workings and the relationships that we may have built in this world. So targeting one of the people who's been at this the longest makes perfect sense to me.
What I can say is that this isn't the only one.
Shit.
The only creature?
Right.
How many others?
From what that I can say. From what little I gleaned before I died, whatever created this is creating more. If I were to hazard a guess, with my vast intellect at my disposal, it would be that the plane as it exists currently is unfinished, therefore malleable.
This plane, or
This plane.
Wherever this Void Lord is.
This plane.
This.
He says, pointing to the ground.
Okay.
This plane is unfinished, therefore malleable. If I were an unknowable entity, I don't know what my goals would be, but I imagine that a unfinished plane would be of some interest. And from the evidence of sending it to harass, demoralize, potentially kill, I don't know, you, who are seeking to complete the plane, potentially desires the plane to remain unfinished.
So this was actually a distraction. Gwen was right.
Possibly. I can't honestly say for certain. That's an assumption I can make, though.
Well, if that is the case, then rather than trying to confront this thing head on, it may be, if we're operating under the assumption that your suppositions are correct, finishing cleaning out the tower may simply divert this being's interests elsewhere, and we won't have to worry about it anymore.
Elsewhere. Someplace else then is going to get those all over.
Hope, until you yourself are a god, I would hold off on maybe taking responsibility for all of possible realities. I understand your motivation there, and you don't want to send this thing careening off into somebody else's path.
Killing a god is quite a feat. Killing a god that you have no information about, no ability to contact, or even know the location of, even more so.
Has anyone ever killed a god?
Yes.
Who? Where? How?
I point at
He points at Gwen.
Killed all of them, right?
From my understanding, that was the entire point of the previous cycle.
I mean, they're still around, but you did kill them.
Yes. I suppose that's certainly one way you could look at it.
But from my understanding, if these things are interested in keeping the tower from being finished, if we start going up the tower, that should get their attention, and less of these monsters should be roaming around where other people are.
Now,
they'll be coming for us.
To be clear, the idea that they're after this world is a theory.
It's the only one we've got to work on right now.
All I can say for certain is that there are more of these. I don't know that
somewhere.
I don't know that they are not here.
All right. Well, I would say next question would be, Galadir, do you have the coordinates for any teleportation circles based in the Dragon Peaks?
He thinks for a moment. No.
Soul's back it is then.
But I can take you directly there.
Oh.
Either grab Harry and potentially drop off the people that don't want to come.
Not right now. I have an errand to run before we leave. Can we go tomorrow morning?
Fine with me. Anybody else?
Yeah, I'd like to, just out of character, how long does it take to get to River's End from here?
River's End is on the other side of the initial base.
About 4 days.
If I had like a flying mount or something like that?
About 2 days.
Okay. Okay.
Lulu will be in Gwen's head for a second. It's always going to be one more day before we can do anything she doesn't want to do.
So we are set on leaving tomorrow morning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll see if I can get a message out to somebody. But I need to check on my parents in River's End. If something happened to Hope's Temple, then I need to, and there's more of these things, I need to check.
If you go to the Temple of Aradanir, they can send a message for you.
Or I can put something in your hand if you need.
That too.
Okay. That too.
Whichever works.
I'll take a message from you right now.
All right. He'll put, well, actually I can do 2 of these in a couple minutes, if that works for you.
Just one would be able to do it.
Good enough then. Give me a moment. I'll get a few things prepared and then we'll get you all set up.
Okay.
And Gwyn is going to sit down and take a short rest.
You do that.
Because arcane recovery takes a minute.
Galadir looks over at the door, looks over at the rest of you. You should probably remind your halfling friend that she left her body parts. He says, pointing at the arm and the eyeballs on one table.
I'll go get her.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go find the other halfling.
All right.
I'm going to go. I need to go buy some stuff too. I'm going to head out.
All right.
Anyone want to come with?
I'll catch up to you.
Okay.
So, Harry, where'd you run off to?
So we're inside this large tower building.
Yes.
I went wandering to find the training room because clearly any building this big has to have a combat training room. Because why would you not put a combat training room if you didn't have the space?
Right.
So she's wandering around willy-nilly looking for the training room.
Do you wander,
this can only end super well.
Do you wander up or down first?
I feel like a training room would be down probably, because since he's a wizard, if you like blow everything up, then at least down you can, you're not falling hundreds and hundreds of feet.
Okay. So you go down. The next level down, you find a library in which there is another Galadir reading a book.
I keep going.
You keep going. You find yourself in what's the second floor? You find yourself
walks into the library. Is like, nope. Keeps going.
Second floor. You find yourself in a teleportation room. There's a large teleportation circle in the middle of it, and another Galadir sitting in a chair, doing something arcane with his hands.
Double nope.
You head further down, you find yourself back in the main hall, which has the rows of metal tubes, and another Galadir currently installing a new one and casting a spell into an empty one.
That's fucked up. Keep going.
You keep going further down. You find yourself in the basement that appears to be a wine cellar, in which there is another Galadir who is currently stocking a shelf.
Are there further layers down?
Yes, there are further layers down.
Keep going.
You keep going. You go down. Lulu, give me a survival check. We'll see how quickly you catch up to Harry.
Actually, I have advantage on everything anyway.
Yep.
All right, so we'll use that to determine how quickly you catch up to Harry. You keep going down.
Permanent damage.
You keep going down.
Looking for directions if I'm not sure.
Oh yeah. You find what appears to be a kennel of some kind, in which there are a variety of hound and hound-like entities. There's blink dogs, wolves, various other dog-like things that would be in a kennel, with yet another Galadir, this one wearing green robes, tending to those.
Is there anything that looks like, besides the idiot wizard, is there anything that looks like it might be a challenge to fight?
I mean, a variety
For a
of
level
them.
21 character.
A variety of them, but they're all in pens. This is very clearly not a fighting kennel. This is these are these dogs that I'm taking care of kennel.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Keep going.
You keep going down.
We don't kill the pets.
Yeah.
Right.
You find yourself now in what appears to be an open mine shaft. There's another Galadir with a miner's hat on here.
I look at that one. Is there anything to fight in this down this shaft?
I don't know yet.
Now let's keep going.
You keep going down. You find you're not finding any training rooms. You find 3 more storage spaces that seem to be for various food, drink, and other things before Lulu catches up to you.
All right. Eventually, I will, like, one of the foods places, I will, like, have grabbed a crate and put it somewhere so it's at least throwing. So I'm like,
Target practice.
Target practice aiming into like a crate full of some kind of liquid that is now seeping, now leaking out.
You've also found the only level on which there is not a Galadir so far, as Lulu catches up to you.
Galadir.
Yep, that would definitely be the one that I stay in.
I'm just imagining Galadir being like just a variety of different Kupos.
A variety of different mogs, yes.
Thunk. Thunk. Oh, hey.
My turn. And I'm going to cast a ray of sickness at it.
You cast a ray of...
We're poisoning
the
food.
You have the liquid that was coming out was sort of a reddish color. It's now still reddish, but it has very visible indications of moss and of mold coming out of it as well. Yeah, and there's mold all over the crate.
So that's fun. I like that.
That's weird and cool. So I was looking for the training room, but I guess I went down when I probably should have went. I figured that, wizard.
Did you try asking for directions?
Have you tried talking to? Have you seen those things talk?
Yeah, usually when you ask a really simple, direct question, they say something you can understand, and if you do anything else, they don't make sense. Like, where is the training room? They'll either point you to it or say, I don't have one.
Or go on to a long exposition of, well, what are you trading for? Are you trading for this or that or blah, blah. And then at some point, it'll get into discussion about like the 17th layer of the abyss and what kind of like, I don't know, minerals.
That's just because they think you're smart enough to understand what they're saying. They don't try that with me. But I'm supposed to ask you if you want your eyeballs and let you know that you should go pick them up from the research.
Right. Yeah, I should do that. Cool. And thus begins the trek up like...
Back up, yes.
20 levels.
Interestingly, with an objective in mind, 2 floors higher, you're back at the lab.
That's just fucked up.
Gallaudet looks over as Gwynferon is still...
But I don't like it.
...meditating in the corner. What's fucked up?
You're a wizard, you wouldn't understand. I grab my arm and my eye.
Alright, you acquire arm and eye.
You have magic user privilege. You wouldn't get it.
Oh, I have that now.
And Gwyn casts Sending into Corbin's hand.
Gallaudet shrugs.
Thanks.
Also,
if you need to get eyes on them, I can help you out with that as well.
Okay, thank you.
Gallaudet nods to Luma.
He's a wizard. I assume he can gather the context magically.
Yes. So, Corbin, what are you sending to who?
It's got to be 25 words, right?
Yep.
So I was too busy enjoying everybody else's roleplay. Just a quick message to my father. Just saying, they can tell it's me or they know it's for me. So, hey, or hi, if you can, please make it to core as soon as possible. Adventuring Guild, tell them I sent you.
You get a response back saying, will do.
Okay. That's a relief. And anybody watching sees him visibly relax. I gotta go catch up to Hope now before something happens.
Make a survival check. Let's see how quickly you catch up to Hope.
Yeah. 11.
I'll keep that in mind. Before we transition over to Hope, is there anything else anyone else is doing other than leaving the tower, theoretically?
Gwyn is just checking to make sure Gallaudet's okay with leaving for the Dragon Peaks tomorrow. Yep. And then he is making sure he has his 4 eyeballs and is headed out as well.
Lulu will ask Gallaudet.
3 eyeballs. Sorry, 3 eyeballs.
I can't think of a way to ask this in character. Which of the temples has the best selection of divine or wisdom-based spellcasting?
How do you mean?
I have a magic hand that lets me store a spell, but Gwyn casts by being smart at things, and I need someone who casts it being smart at souls.
Ah. Was there a particular effect you were looking for?
So I have twice now gotten the poison that's not just poison, but evil demonic rot poison of skeletons. And clerics fix that sometimes, and I want to fix that.
Greater restoration.
Okay. which would be
Just about any temple. Marduk would be the most likely to help you, though.
Marduk would always be the most likely to help you.
That's true. It's true. That's absolutely true.
I am cleric of, well, blood and probably ancestor worship. I don't know this stuff.
Yeah, so Marduk would be the answer.
Okay. Yep.
Okay. Hope, where you going?
To the marketplace. I'm asking around for a belt of strength of some sort. Best one. Come on.
Give me an investigation roll.
Okay. $22.
Let me look up some tables real quick. While I'm looking up tables real quick, Gwenfriend, where are you going?
Gwyn is going to ask Gashkar if she needs a drink.
I can always use a drink.
Excellent. Let's go find something and get at least marginally shit-faced.
Sounds good to me.
And he'll look around and see if anybody else is there and invite them along too.
I mean, I feel like I was still there because I was asking Gal a question.
Harry and Lulu would have still been there.
All right. You two. Drinks. Yes?
Always.
All right. Walking.
All right. You are able to find... there does exist a belt of hill giant strength.
Okay.
That you can find in the marketplace.
All right. How much is it?
Billion gold.
It's only 4,000 gold.
Okay. Yeah, I will buy that.
All right.
So...
You bought a belt of hill giant strength. It sets your strength to 21.
Yes. Okay.
Didn't need to buy that. I literally had one.
Well, I don't know you have one.
Gashkar's a better
It's
one.
almost like we never talk about the magic items that the
No,
group
we
should
don't.
know about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
So you spend 4,000 gold and you get a belt of hill giant strength. When you have it attuned to yourself, which is going to take a short rest, it will set your strength to 21. You can only have 3 items attuned to yourself though, so you're going to have to unattune from something.
Will I? Oh, dang it. Am I at beacon dagger?
Because you got the beacon, the dagger, and a sword.
Oh, that's right. Shit. Ugh. Never mind. Can I return it? I turn around.
I will say that you were fully aware of the number of items you had attuned to yourself before you made the purchase, so you could choose to not purchase it if you so desire.
I get it for Harry because that would just be hilarious.
Does Harry need one?
Not that you know of.
Harry doesn't.
Harry
definitely
smashes
use
things
one.
already way more effectively than I do. I probably wouldn't.
Harry doesn't not need one.
Then I just wander around and kind of window browse.
Corbin, you eventually catch up with Hope while Hope is window browsing.
Yep. Hey, how did you hear from them?
Yeah. I told them if they could to get here in the Adventurers Guild and let them know that they should be expected. So.
Okay, and they're all right.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. As far as however
all right.
I can find you, a go.
Really quick, Jack and Jeremy, roll me a D100.
Hell yeah. 46.
What?
All right. On your way to the bar, while Hope and Corbin are catching up, Harry, something catches your eye. It's a price tag on a belt of hill giant strength. It's 4,000 gold.
Hey, Gwen.
Yeah.
Do you have? Hold on just a second. Oh no, never mind. I'm good.
Good for what?
I have 500 platinum pieces. I now have 100 platinum pieces.
And a belt of hill giant strength.
And I only have 2 things attuned to me.
There you go.
I am 42 pounds and have a 21 strength.
The power of magic.
Yep.
Power of magic.
Oh.
Gashkar, you see Harry buy a belt of hill giant strength.
Yeah.
What?
Gashkar kind of like pulls the belt that she's wearing off, kind of holds it up.
Hey,
There's
that
not
looks
even-
like the belt I just got.
This one's better.
No, it's not. Because it's not the one I have.
And her strength doesn't even visibly decrease or anything. Like the magical essence leaves, and she doesn't seem all that much weaker.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be doing much for you. So I think I got the better deal here. No offense.
I know.
Gwyn pauses for a moment. John, is he aware of any magical items that change someone's effective wisdom?
Give me an Arcana roll.
All right.
I think there are. At least
Yeah. But it is up to the GM whether they exist in this universe.
yeah.
They're totally wrong.
Hope has one.
That's a 20.
Yes, there are.
Can I identify any of them offhand?
Give me an,
'Cause-
give me an investigation roll.
Okay. I'm using a luck.
I would do that.
That's a 17. Or sorry, no, I used luck. I get to reroll. Blah.
Yeah.
23. That's more like it.
You do spot a particular book.
Uh-oh.
Oh boy.
This it's sort of like wedged in between a stack of other books. So you're pretty certain this bookseller doesn't realize what it is. It's sort of like it's this bookseller, and they have a variety of other books like sort of stacked up on a pile. Looks like they bought just like a crate of books in bulk, and they're selling them for a fairly low price individually. Like they're rare books, and so they are expensive. They're about 100 gold each. But this book in particular has a golden sort of golden enameled workings with a sort of a white leather binding, and it seems to be it is titled a treatise on the divine planes of law and good, but it has a particular magical aura radiating off of it.
He's going to go over there, pick it up, just sort of flip through it. Pick up a few more, flip through them.
Sorry, was that my audio cut out?
Okay. He picks it up, flips through it a little bit, picks up a couple more, flips through them, gets a stack of probably about 3, goes over to the bookseller. I understand about 100 apiece.
Yes, these are fairly rare books that we found in a library that was recently uncovered from in the mountain range.
Well, I am restocking my own. So, yes, I believe I can agree to 300 gold, and he'll offer that.
Pay 300 gold.
Okay. So, I got a
Someone
book.
just scammed a book teller bad.
I will say that this particular item I had already stocked in the marketplace at that price because of a series of rolls I made 3 months ago. And you've just now found it.
Well, what are the other 2 books titled?
The other 2 books that you picked up, you were browsing through the treatise section, so they're sort of treatises on various extraplanar things. One of them is a treatise on the elemental plane of water and its use in its potential use in fueling drought affected systems and ecologies, and a treatise on the elemental plane of fire and whether or not its use in acquiring heat in colder climates would incite violence from the denizens of the elemental plane of fire, because they tend to be a little bit more hot-headed than the denizens of the other planes.
Right. Good. Well, 2 light readings and 1 that's really kind of awesome.
As we're going through the marketplace, Lulu's gonna look for like a metal or stone vial that could be like used as a necklace with some twine or rope or something.
Yeah, easily enough. You can find this for marketplace price. Whatever.
I don't know what the price of that would be, like 10 silver or something like that.
Let me try. It shouldn't be too expensive. I can pull it up in the player's handbook. A vial is fairly cheap.
It doesn't necessarily need to be healing potion worthy or anything.
No. A vial's 1 gold. So yeah, 1 gold for a glass vial.
Works for me. But I'm assuming I can find a metal or stone equivalent.
Yeah, you could find an alternate material equivalent.
Cool.
He's also going to look around and see if he can find an Ioun Stone of Insight, assuming those exist here.
Another investigation roll.
Okay. 19.
Those are harder to find. You don't find any Ioun stones in the marketplace.
Okay.
We'll inform Gashkar. There's a lot of people that are looking for those in this group if you don't want yours.
Yeah, I've sort of noticed, but they all seem to run off in different directions and not...
Can I have it?
If you want it, absolutely.
Thank you.
At this point, the energy that sort of surged through me is, I really don't need it
You
anymore.
want an eyeball? I'll pull out my little mechanical eye. Trade you?
You know what? Sure. And she kind of takes the ersatz eye. This is fascinating.
There's probably like slight bits of person still on it, but mostly it is just an ersatz eye.
The belt you got is a frost giant belt, I believe.
No, it's the belt of frost dragon strength, which is a belt of fire giant strength.
There you go. That's it.
It sets your strength to 25.
Yeah. So once you attune to it, your strength will be 25.
Yeah, belt of white dragon
Oh,
strength.
you're assuming that I'm going to tune to it. That's nice.
If you attune to it.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Drinks!
All right.
Yes.
So you guys stopped by on the way to on your way to getting drinks. Bought a couple things.
Yep.
Hope and Corbin. So you've met up and you've discussed the fact that Corbin was able to reach his family.
Yep. What time is it? Because I'm keeping an eye on the sun to make sure I don't miss my appointment.
You should probably start heading that way now.
Okay. That's good to hear. I have a meeting that I set up like a month ago or something, and I missed that one, but I set up another one with the Ebony Adjudicator.
I thought you were paying attention when you should have went to the last one.
No, I was not paying attention.
How much did you miss it by? Was it like
3
yesterday?
days.
Huh?
3 days. because we were in an ice cave helping Gwyn do his thing.
Okay. Yeah. We were a little busy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right.
I'll go check to see what they're all up to and see
Okay.
after your appointment.
Yep. See you later.
Later. And I'll head to the Adventurers Guild.
Oh, wait, Corbin, before I go,
Yeah.
I remembered because I sort of, you nearly died there. I sort of lost my train of
I
thought at that
tripped.
point.
I tripped. I fell backwards.
It was close. But I sort of yelled at you before that point, and then
Yeah,
stuff
I heard
happened,
that.
and I sort of don't remember too much of what happened next because I was sort of screaming a bunch. But
That happens.
yeah. Wanted to
Yeah, I
say I
remember you
love
yelling. What were you trying to yell?
I love
out
you.
for? Love you too.
I've never said it before, but figured might as well say it out loud because it's already true.
Yeah.
That's all. I walk off.
Before you walk off, he gives you a kiss, and then
Yes. Okay.
and then he goes back.
As the heartwarming segment ends.
Let's get shit-faced. No,
You're on your way to the Ebony Adjudicator. The rest of you,
Yep.
Are you looking for any bar in particular, or are you just going to the Adventurers Guild? The other
Gwyn
four of
didn't
you.
particularly have one in mind.
Let's go somewhere besides the Adventurers Guild. It doesn't matter
I'm
where.
gonna try and look for somewhere that smells particularly good.
Give me an investigation roll.
That isn't the Adventurers Guild because we've gone there before.
Smells particularly good for a Lulu definition of smells pretty good.
Yeah.
Hey, I like meat and
You butchered
nature.
a badger in the middle of a hall, like a front, like the
That
front hall
badger
where-
had it coming.
Anyone else can roll an investigation check too if you're all looking for a place to eat or drink.
Sure, why not? 27.
16.
Gashkar, are you rolling an investigation?
No.
Okay. So
Lulu's sense of food is not that weird.
the three of Lulu, you smell meats and alcohol and like good, well roasted meat too. Like whoever roasted this meat knows something about cooking. At roughly the same time that Gwen and Harry, you spy a sign hanging off of a building that looks fairly innocuous, wedged in between two larger ones, almost like somebody
Never trust an innocuous building.
It's almost like somebody like carved a section out of the city where like you have these more modern constructions on either side of it, and then just in the middle of it is just like a tavern that looks like it would be more in place in like a dive in like a small like roadside like inn rather than anywhere else. And the sign hanging off of it has a little imp sitting in a chair, leaning back with its feet kicked up on a desk, and says "The Misfits Respite."
Oh God.
Have I heard of this place before?
No, you've never heard of it before. It looks fairly accommodating. It's fairly like the light's fairly dim coming out the windows, but there are people inside. There's the sound of activity on the inside. Lulu, it smells good.
Cool.
Works for me.
In we go. Geshkar, I
I
am
can't
having one drink and then I'm using my tankard because we need to make sure that at least somebody's sober enough to get us where we need to be on time tomorrow morning.
Sure, that works.
Yeah,
So-
all right.
You guys push open the door and walk in. You find yourselves in the dimly lit interior of the Misfits Respite. There are about 4 tables, only 2 of which are currently occupied, stairs that lead up to where there are more rooms. At one table, immediately to your right, there is a quartet of kobolds, all varyingly dressed and varyingly colored, sitting around chatting at each other in Draconic. Just sort of like just shooting the shit, to each other. One of them has a pseudo dragon on one shoulder and a raven on the other shoulder. The other three are in various forms of like bone crafted armor. They have food and drink in front of them on these chairs that are sized appropriately for them. So they're not like dangling off of like medium sized person chair. They're actually small sized chairs. At another table, there is a tabaxi and a lizard folk and a half orc and a tiefling. The tiefling is sort of standing up on a chair, one foot in the seat, the other on the table, currently like punctuating a story that he's telling with both arms. Top hat in one hand, coat sort of fluttering around behind him. There's a large, well-muscled man walking through with sort of an apron, no shirt, and pants on, who's sort of carrying food over to that first table. At the bar, there is a human and a goblin sitting next to each other, having some sort of conversation. The goblin seems to have several bombs sort of hanging out the back of his belt, just sort of dangling there. At the bar, there is what appears to be a drow elf, which would explain why it's so dimly lit in here. It's not very bright at all, even though there's a fire burning in the fireplace. I was currently polishing a glass. And you occasionally will see the form of a large winged red dragonborn stepping in and out of the back room that appears to be a kitchen of some kind.
Gwyn casts sending to Corbin. We're at the Misfits Respite, having some drinks. Feel free to meet us here when you're done.
How the fuck did you find that place? And elsewhere. That's all you get back.
If I see that expression in Gwyn's head, what is your magic saying?
Oh, I was just telling Corbin where we are. He apparently already knows it and is wondering how the fuck we found this place.
Well, you could tell him it smells good, but if Corbin is apprehensive, I'm really excited to be here.
Right. Do you think Harry would be interested in reading a book?
I think Harry can read. I've never asked.
Yes, but would she be interested? I mean, lots of people can read, but the number of those that like to are slightly smaller.
Is there some way you can convince her it's either beneficial to her or about things she can kill?
It's not about things she can kill per se, but it would be beneficial and it might help her be able to more easily notice things that she can kill in a more efficient or potentially bloodier manner.
I got about half of those words. I would say explain openly to her why you think she might like the book and that it's important to you.
Right.
But also,
I need to make sure that
way to convince her it's about killing things.
Oh, fair. Yep. And Gwyn's going to, just to make sure he's on the right page, as it were, sit down, order a drink, and ritually cast Identify on this treatise on the planes of, you said what, good and law? Law and order?
Yeah, law and good.
Law and good.
As you cast Identify on it, you get the sense that you may have found the wrong book. This is a book. This is not a book that increases your wisdom score after reading it.
No.
This is a book of exalted deeds.
What is that?
Oh.
Oh, Jesus.
What does that mean?
And Gwyn just very quietly turns slightly away from the rest of the room and goes, Weaveborn, look what I found.
I see. I like it. You probably can't use it very well, but I still like it.
Yes, no, this is Huh.
It's sort of on the level of the anima weapons.
Yes, yes, I believe it would. Yes.
I think of the people traveling with you, Corbin, or if Lulu decides to continue down the path that Lulu appears to have started down,
Right.
either one of them might be able to find use for it.
Yes.
That's because I think it would be really funny. I should point out that Harry is neutral good.
You do know that it does require the person who returns to it to be good aligned.
Right.
They don't have to be lawful.
So
They just have to be
Lulu
good
or
aligned.
Corbin.
Hope's good aligned too.
Yeah, but
So is Gashkar, actually.
it doesn't benefit those two as much as it would benefit Corbin or Lulu.
Yep. Okay.
I don't know what this thing is. What is this?
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember what a Book of Exalted
So-
Deeds does.
It's a fucking artifact.
So
Okay.
for everyone's benefit, a Book of Exalted Deeds is an artifact. It is the counterpoint to the Book of Vile Darkness.
Of Vile Darkness, yeah.
It grants minor beneficial major beneficial properties that I still have to decide and on a table for being an artifact. But in addition to all of that, it also increases your wisdom score by 2 to a maximum of 24. After you spend a certain amount of time reading and studying it. In addition to that, it grants you, once you've read and studied the book, any spell slot you expend to cast a cleric or paladin spell counts as a spell slot of 1 level higher. It gives you a halo, a protective halo that sheds bright light in a 10-foot radius and dim light for an additional 10 feet. You can dismiss or manifest this halo as a bonus action. While present, you have advantage on charisma persuasion checks made to interact with good creatures and charisma intimidation checks made to interact with evil creatures. In addition, fiends and undead within the halo's bright light make attack rolls against you with disadvantage. Yeah. Also, if an evil creature tries to read from it, they take 24 d6 radiant damage.
It's incredibly useful, particularly for clerics, because wisdom is our spellcasting stat. It's also decently useful for paladins.
It's useful for paladins
So
because
they
it gives them bonuses to their charisma checks, and also because it gives them bonuses fighting fiends and undead in close range.
Yep. And also, just every spell that you cast from that class is another level higher.
It is the ultimate cleric item.
All right, I need to make some. Carry on. Gwyn needs to make some rolls.
So, while the 4 of you are sitting down for drinks at the Misfits Respite. Oh.
Yep.
Yes. To
You-
the tower.
You head to, not to the tower, to
The
the triumvirate.
towers.
To the triumvirate.
Yes.
So, you head to the triumvirate. You go up to the desk. A servant is called to lead you up to your meeting. You are placed in a room that is fairly well decorated. It's a meeting room disguised as a break room. One of those kind of meeting rooms where it's like make you feel comfortable because you're not in a meeting room. There's not a desk or anything. There's a couch and a table with some books on it and a fireplace, and it's designed to be like a sitting room, but you know it's a meeting room. And you head into the room. You get in there. You have the room to yourself for a few minutes.
I pull out the horn and I hide it underneath my sleeve.
Which horn?
The horn of silent alarm.
Okay.
Just in case.
Okay.
Right?
All right. After a few minutes, the door opens, and in comes this woman who's in a very fine black dress with a black cloth blindfold that sort of covers her face from the nose up, including her eyes. with long black hair sort of hanging down the back. You see these two dots of glowing light behind the veil. As she steps in, closes the door behind her. Hope.
Harita.
You wish to meet with me?
Yes. I just had some questions about, I don't know, a lot of things. First one though, I don't know what all of the adjudicators' jobs are, who does what, but I was wondering about purchasing some land that was recently, no one owns it now.
Land acquisition is not a adjudicator's purview. That is, and she'll list off the relevant
The ones I already
department within the triumvirate that you've already talked to about acquiring that.
Okay. All right. That's fine. And I was also wondering about you and a person I used to know. Why do you wear a mask?
It's part of the symbols of office. It's a representative of the blind, the fact that those who are in a position of law are supposed to be blind to prejudices and biases and look at things with a clearer view. Also, the sight of my eyes tends to be unsettling to most people.
Also, they're terribly comfortable. I'm sure everyone will be wearing one in the future.
How did you end up being able to do, is that the thing you did to calm everyone down when they're freaked out? Is that part of the adjudicator thing?
No.
Or
that is not a part of being adjudicator. That is something unique to myself. And part of why I am adjudicator.
Why?
Why what?
Why are you adjudicator? What are you trying to do with your job?
I am adjudicator because I like to ensure that justice is done, that the laws of our society that we have established are pursued with as much faith as possible. And I have a particular set of skills that makes it useful in achieving that goal.
Okay, because something attacked a group of people in the city, and
I'm aware. I'm also aware that apparently your group of adventurers have dealt with it.
Yes.
There was quite a parade that went on through the town.
Yeah, they wanted to do that. They figured it would make people feel better.
Apparently the new group, Gashferon, dealt with the creature.
Oh my god. Okay. All right.
For all of his divination capacities, Gwyn is still unaware that our group has a name.
Yep. That's not ever been brought to your attention.
Nope.
Oh my god.
It's only been in existence for
like a few hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Less than a day.
However, one of the leaders of the city knows it. It's stuck now.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, she keeps an eye on her city.
I was wondering, I have this, and I'll show her the symbol that, like, for storing spells in my hand.
Yep.
I was wondering if I could get whatever thing you did to calm everyone down in my hand.
Unfortunately,
yours.
I'm not a spellcaster.
You were just born with that then?
Born, not so much, but remade with this ability. When I was young, there was a particular incident. And that incident tore a hole in the planar boundaries between this world and the divine. I was drawn into Loretha's plane and remade by the divine energies there. When I awoke next, I found myself back here with a bit more of a sense for the true feeling of others. And my presence calls people.
I've been trying to talk to her for months now. She hasn't answered. Not once.
She's not very talkative. As I said, it took a plane-rending incident for me to get a audience, shall we say. Loretha likes to watch and allow incidents to unfold.
What about if you're not sure if something should unfold or not? How? Because she doesn't have her scales. You know this. You saw what I saw.
Mm-hmm.
I've got some more information. There's another god who's right there in the world, over in Taram, and he says that if this tower keeps being made, Eidos will come back and destroy it all.
Did you have something to say?
I want to know if that's true or not.
If what's true or not?
If the tower keeps being
Make an insight
rebuilt.
check, Hope.
Okay. 27.
It doesn't seem... It seems like from the minute you started talking about the God Emperor, nothing you said reached her ears.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's being blocked. All right. It was a lot. Never mind.
Was there anything else you wish to ask?
About being hoisted.
About being what? No, that's it. That's all.
Very well. He just sort of gestures towards the door.
And I will stand up. And leave.
All right.
I had a moment.
Okay. You head out. Meanwhile, Gwynferon, back at the tavern. After you guys ordered drinks and food, or whatever you ordered, the large, muscular male with the apron comes over and deposits them. Is there anything else I can get for you?
Sorry?
Anything?
You'll have to forget. You'll have to forgive this one. He was probably in conversation with the imaginary person. We're good for the moment.
Well, just holler if you need anything else. And he
Thank you.
sets your stuff down and heads back over towards the bar and kitchen. So, the four of you are sitting down to a drink and food. The drink is good. The food is good. Gwynfron, what you doing?
He's going to go outside, look up and down, find the nearest intersection.
Yeah.
Then he's going to come back inside, cast Sending again. Corbin, the Misfits Respite is just down from cross streets.
Yeah, I'm aware.
Go back in and sit down.
Yep.
Okay.
Is that?
I have done the best I can.
Corbin, are you?
I was on my way there.
Okay. Are you going to the Misfits?
I don't want
Misfits Respite.
Huh?
Are you going to the Misfits Respite?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I didn't want. The whole reason I said elsewhere was so that they should be elsewhere by the time I get there, because then that means that they're not there.
And then Gwydden goes back to the table.
You all right there, Skippy?
Having fun.
I'm waiting to see if this place moves.
After about...
I'm sorry. No, I'm not sorry. What?
You never are.
No, that's not true. I am legitimately sorry sometimes.
Oh, okay.
What?
It's going to take you about an hour to get there, Corbin, so...
Yeah, well, does that sound like the same area?
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah, same area it was previously.
Yeah.
Once Corbin gets here, I'll talk to him and figure things out. He made it sound like this place can't always be found, which makes me think maybe it gets up and moves around sometimes.
Wait a minute. Wait just a second here. Somebody told you it's difficult to find a place, and out of all the potential possibilities, it's in a weird, windy, it's in a weird, windy place.
It's
That
just
person
off
gets-
the marketplace.
That person gets lost easily. There is on the high level end, perhaps there is some kind of invisibility cast. You thought of sprouts legs and walks around?
Nothing so banal.
Gwen,
Of course not. That would be too normal.
Gwen, it's not the kind of place that someone like Corbin thinks of or thinks well of. It's the kind of place looked over by people like him.
Well, fair, but the way he
We're
said
thinking
it
of
made
these
me...
as words that Corbin said, and that Corbin doesn't really think about things too much. He doesn't layer in too much meaning when he talks.
I mean,
Be that as it may.
Entire group.
We can
But-
still see if Corbin finds it in the same place that it is, but I mean, it's not that weird if it moves. But I agree with Harry that it would make more sense that it's just Corbin being Corbin.
I mean, I didn't say necessarily just that. There are a bunch of things that it could be that are not. It teleports around on a whim.
Okay.
Well, I'm sure it's not on a whim. I'm sure if it does, there's at least some level of pattern or intent behind it.
You'll
Fuck's
notice
sake.
quickly you'll turn inside out and then back in.
You are such a wizard.
Yes. I've devoted my entire life to being as much a wizard as possible, Harry.
You and your inability to catch what I was saying there proves my point. Glug
I-
glug 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 glug.
I understood your point. I'm just saying that not everybody is going to consider it the apparent insult that you seem to consider it.
I am not being insulting to wizards as a whole. I'm
Just you.
I kind of am, but I'm okay with it. No, I'm saying that there is a particular stereotype that you are living up to.
All right. No, that's fair, I suppose. I mean,
And I'm beginning to suspect it's because you were just in close proximity to another of the most wizardy wizards I've ever seen. I mean, he's even more wizardy than you.
Probably.
I think he's also been doing this for a lot longer,
Like
though.
he is the equivalent if you took him and stuffed him up the ass of one of his clones. That's how much concentrated wizard there is.
That's a lot of concentrated wizard.
A lot of concentrated.
It's gonna take a lot to break that
wizards
concentration.
wizards may not be the unilaterally applicable Core Knight Ranger knife that a lot of people think we pretend we are. But we do have our place.
Oh, you do. You're not wrong. I'm not saying I hate wizards.
You.
You're the only one in this party who doesn't hate wizards.
Some of my best friends. No, I'm kidding. I don't.
And there are varying levels of responsibility amongst the individuals who claim the mantle, and some of them abuse their power, absolutely. And most of us look at the world differently than many other people do. But somebody has to.
Right, I'm out of alcohol. Excuse me.
Oh, yes, by all means.
In your head. Was that you trying to give her a book?
No, this book isn't going to help her as much as I thought initially.
Jack, you can now see the book in your inventory in magic items.
Sweet.
Magic items momentarily. And you will see what you can now see exactly what properties it provides.
Okay. All right.
And yes, those stack.
Right. I figured they probably did. Well, honestly, Lulu, I think this book is going to be better for you than for me. Or Harry.
I appreciate that you think that the book is valuable to me, and I will absolutely try and read it. I can't read.
It'll take time, and I'll help if you need. I will try to help, or we will find you a better teacher.
Do you know the magic that does the making things legible?
If I don't, I can definitely find it for you.
That would probably be easier. There's a magic in the library with the skeleton man that makes all the books readable. I don't know if there's a person variant of that or if those are just magic books.
Well, hang on for just a minute.
Okay.
And, well, here. You just start looking through this. Don't try and read it yet, but just try and become familiar with it as much as you can. And you'll be able to read it in about 10 minutes.
All right. I'll start trying to look at the book.
Are you actively trying to attune to it?
Is that what I think Gwen meant by familiarize?
He was trying to imply that.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Once you attune to it, you are able to read it perfectly.
Okay.
And it will be as soon as I can find where I hid it. Where did it go? Come on.
Is it in the magic items folder?
No, Roll20 is deciding not to show me items
Ah.
when I try to open them. Momentarily, I'll be applying it to your thing. In about 20 or so minutes after you've attuned to it is when Corbin is going to arrive. So as soon as you look at it, we'll see if it.
So 10 minutes into the attunement process, Gwyn casts comprehend languages on ritual cast comprehend languages onto Lulu.
All right.
We really make you burn through all of your spell slots, huh?
That's why it's ritual casting.
Come on. Open up.
Comprehend languages lets you touch read. It's
Yes.
funny.
Right. It's basically as long as you're touching the page, you can read it.
All right, it's now in your journal.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
So do I just see everybody like up on a bar at a table, something?
Really quick. So the random properties you get for automatically attuning, everything below that you have to spend 80 hours reading once you've attuned to it to acquire. Once you enter the room and you see that the four of them are sitting at a table. They have food and drink.
Okay, I will
Corbin!
walk over, sit down, and go like, "What the fuck? I said you guys should go elsewhere."
I thought you meant you were elsewhere.
Technically I was elsewhere, but we.
Do tell me what's wrong with this place.
I've already had 3 drinks, and I don't think I'm going very far.
Well, you're man.
Not because I
Just be
can't,
rude
not because I'm
again.
drunk, but because I have a rule. Once I've had 3 drinks, that's my place for the night.
That's a good rule. I like that.
That's not a bad roll. No.
Okay. So I'll whisper to Gwen. The way that we got rid of Umbra, Selena, one of the last people that was in this group,
I remember Selena.
she made a deal with the person that I think either owns this place or runs this place. Real quick, out of character, I forgot what Corbin knows, what all of Corbin knows about how much she told him about, like, besides the one guy helping us. And
Mostly, you guys don't know much about Cal. In
Hope's
general.
real suspicious of him.
other than that, he's powerful and you shouldn't fuck with him.
Other than that, he's powerful. You shouldn't fuck with him, and that Hope is really suspicious of him. You actually don't know much about him. You know that this place has some connection to him, but you actually don't know if he owns it or what.
Yeah. I don't know if he owns it or whoever owns this.
The person who runs it
belongs
is
to
the
him.
drow. The person who runs it is the drow elf behind the bar.
Yeah.
Now, when you say you're whispering, are you trying to make it just quiet enough for only Gwen to hear?
The table.
Okay.
So you have a previous beef with somebody affiliated with this place, is what you're saying?
No, there's no beef. It's just somebody.
We're not making
Whoever
any
was
trouble.
able-
Lulu will actually
I'm
say
trying
this.
to explain why I don't think we should be here. Whoever
Lulu will say in Harry's
Selena
head.
made the deal with this, or whoever Selena made the deal with, had enough power to lock away a demigod.
Lulu will say in Harry's head, "We're not gonna fight the tavern owner or patron, whatever.
Nope. Not unless he fights us.
Then why is Corbin
that's out
upset
loud.
about this?"
All right, so we have a very powerful personage who's...
How's that different from the Adventurers Guild?
Because I don't
think
personally know anybody at the Adventurers Guild that can lock away a demigod.
I think the implication is
Just cause.
evil.
I don't
Dangerous
know.
at the very least.
I
Well, he's
stand
not
by
evil,
my
I'm
earlier assessment of
It's
why
a bear I wouldn't want
Right.
to inadvertently poke.
Okay.
And
No,
I
that's-
like poking
group
bears.
that inadvertently
Yes, we
pokes
know.
a lot.
we will pay our tab. You don't have to lecture us into paying our tab.
Where's the bear? I want to poke the bear.
That's what I'm talking
Okay, now I'm actually seeing Corbin's perspective.
Beautiful.
I mean, if the bear's a person, I'm not going to poke a person.
I don't know
At
what the
least
bear is.
Not without
I'm telling you
consent.
that.
I'm looking around for how many of the tavern folks are overhearing us because I mean Corbin's not subtle.
Give me an insight check.
I actively said I was
Yeah,
whispering
you are.
to the
You,
table.
you
That
are whispering.
doesn't-
You are whispering. Give me an insight check.
You're whispering.
Fuck.
As far as you're aware, no one's listening to you guys.
Oh, yeah. Okay, insight. That's actually kind
Yes.
because I am proficient in insight.
So it's a
at
flat
level
roll for you?
20 So at level 20 with proficiency, I have a +2.
Yes.
You rolled better than me.
As far as you're aware, no one's listening to you.
All right.
Yeah.
Like
know,
there
I'm
could
not-
be a logical assumption made, but I don't notice anyone.
I'm not
Right,
gonna unless they start shit. Then I will poke back. I will poke with my axe and not the
That's
pointy part.
consensual
The spicy part.
poking.
Do I
That's
see?
consensual poking.
Do I see Kalen or I forgot what was
Agdrassil.
Agdrassil?
No, they neither
in
one of them
here?
are in
No.
here.
Okay.
All right. And this demigod you locked away, it was a very pleasant, benign being, I assume.
From what I could understand, it was aspects of Eidos coalescing.
Because I'm sorry, if there's a very powerful individual who is inclined to lock away an aspect of Eidos, and they also happen to run a good bar, that seems like the person I want to be friends with.
Oh my god, you're missing all the
You're not
important
wrong.
points of the circuit. Carry on.
Was just under the assumption that whoever runs this place, it was not a light deal that she took.
But did you guys hold up your end of it?
As far as I know, yeah.
All right.
Congratulations. You made a deal and you won. Or did the thing.
So this seems more of a tread carefully situation rather than necessarily a run, we're all gonna die situation, I assume. I mean, that's how your explanation is more coming across to me. Correct me if I'm not hearing you right.
Whoever she made the deal with wanted the demigod for their own personal whatever. I don't know what they did with them.
Oh, okay. That does put a slightly different shade on things, yes.
I don't know if they had the power to destroy Umbra. I don't know if they had.
Okay, let me put it this way. We're not toppling some regime. It's actually probably convenient for whatever's hiding here, if there's anyone hiding here, that normal people drink at the bar sometimes. Also, so just because you're uncomfortable doesn't mean it's a bad place, Corbin.
I'm not uncomfortable because of the place. I'm uncomfortable because of who's in it right now.
People that your society disapproves of.
No, us. We get in.
I agree.
That was amazing.
We'll look at him for a second. Okay, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. That's the right phrase, right? Yeah.
Kinda, yeah.
Society disapproves of.
Okay. So
No, the things that happen around us are things that might.
I'm gonna go get more alcohol.
Go get it.
I understand. I understand your
Look,
point.
if you guys want to keep drinking here, that's fine. But
Yeah, I totally get your point, Corbin, and it is
Tread very
well.
lightly, yes.
That said,
yeah,
3-drink rule. Excuse me.
And I'll set back up at a different table from Corbin.
All right.
Because he's being an asshole and being rude to the establishment we're currently in. And I don't know much about society, but I know you were nice to your waiters.
All
I
right.
think.
Either
that or you're supposed
I'm just talking shit about the patronage, not the actual establishment.
Gashkar, give me a perception check.
Sure.
Oh,
I rolled a
God.
2, so that's an 11.
Oh my God.
Would the Fate Man like to make that a better roll?
Nah.
Okay.
Let's see how this goes. Let's see how this pans out.
Yeah, this plays out. Yeah.
You notice that there is a giant robot in the corner. Like a giant, like you'd say a golem, but it's currently inactive. Made of gears and metals and things, sitting next to the fireplace. It looks like a lizard folk, but just bigger.
Huh.
Like a mechanical lizard folk.
Yes.
Sized up.
Yes.
Okay.
It's sort of sitting in the corner, chilling.
This place has interesting clientele. She has takes another drink.
Gwynferon, give me another perception check.
Okay.
Point of clarification, because Lulu didn't read the sign. Has anyone said the name of the place out loud?
The Misfits Respite? Yeah, we said
Yeah.
it.
Yes, we have.
So, Jack, Gwynferon, you notice a pair of purple robes floats past, heading towards the stairs. That reminds you an awful lot of Zendrick.
Right. But is not Zendrick?
But is definitely not Zendrick.
Oh, no.
Do you have any idea how much that screws with my head?
Yes.
You're just drunk, Harry. You can't see who's inside.
This is Jeremy, the guy who runs an Everon game, complaining about someone being named Zendrick.
Yes.
That's true.
Yes, I do.
This is my friend,
Just because
Asia.
you may or may not be drunk does not necessarily mean that Jeremy may or may not.
Jack, you're telling me you've never met a person named Asia?
Of course, I've met a person named Asia. I have just not met a person named East Asia, which is why I defined it.
I know 3 people named Asia. Spelled 3 different ways.
Yes,
I mean, I feel like
bad parents.
I imagine that Kanye would not shy away from naming a child Asia.
Like I said, yes, I have met people with bad parents.
Anyway, we apologize to all of you Dallases out there, you Austins.
Yeah,
you...
Austin, one of whom is the co-founder of Final Kill Film.
I told them they went to Texas. Really, Dallas?
Which is the best line in that show. Anyways, now that we've gone into theater geek niche, going back.
I mean, I really feel like that's just pandering to our audience.
A bit.
Anyway,
Does the audience want me to throw tomatoes that they're superstitious about at them?
Anyways. So yes, this floating purple robes with a similar sort of fog-like coalescence in it just sort of floats past, heads over to the stairs. There's a large Goliath with a greatsword just sort of sitting on the stairs. Looks like he's just chilling on the stairs. He sort of gets up and steps to one side as the robes float up past him.
I should ask Magister Zendrick what they wear when it's, casual Fridays. Anyway.
The smoke on the inside also is a different color. So.
Right.
For what it's worth.
I don't need to think about the nudity of incorporeal beings right now, Gwen.
Oh, that raises so many questions.
It really does, and I guarantee at least several of my Academy mates have written papers on it.
There's a burst of fire coming out of the kitchen, followed by the Dragonborn coming out with more cooked meat.
Well...
Less thinking, more eating.
Yes,
this
and...
establishment has some interesting character.
Back to Hope.
Yep.
So, Hope, where are you going?
I am going to pause outside. Just sort of smoke furiously. Doesn't do anything, but I just need to. And then I'm going
I like how I've
go...
created an addiction to a pipe
Yes.
that only has one effect.
Yes. Listen. Hope is very easily addicted to things.
An effect which is not narcotic in nature.
No.
Right.
Calmer. I need this. I'm going to go to the Temple of Core. A Temple of Core, the biggest one.
Okay. It's like right next door.
Yep, right next door. Go on in.
You go in. There is a large statue of Kor, sort of at the far end. This large figure with 4 arms, sort of 2 of them open out low, 2 of them crossed up high, and these 4 wings sort of spread out and around, so that they're actually like the statue's wings are sort of built into the framing of the architecture, so they actually come around the ceiling and walls, so that when you're inside the building, you feel like you're being encompassed in the wingspan of Kor.
Right. Okay. And I'm going to sit and pray. I'm trying to get in contact.
With who?
Kor.
Okay. Give me a wisdom saving throw.
All right. I haven't taken a short rest. So, wait, no, I have. Never mind. So it doesn't do anything. I have taken a short rest. So that's a 9, because I roll terrible on these every single time.
You sit and pray. 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 You pray harder. You use all capitals in your prayer.
Yep.
Nothing.
Hi. Hello. Anyone?
You sort of like, you're just sitting there knocking on heaven's door and nobody's answering.
Yep.
Kor has blocked you on Twitter for using all caps to try and get his attention.
Are there any clerics in here?
Yeah, they're clerics.
I'm gonna eventually. I do spend a fair amount of time doing that. And eventually, give up. Go over to one of them. Hi, I was wondering. I'm just trying to like talk to a god. Any of them? Someone.
Oh.
And I can store a spell in here. Do you have anything on contacting like the divine planes?
Not personally, no. Though talking with the gods directly is a difficult task. Even the most devout of clerics can only achieve this sometimes every 1 out of 100 times that they check, sometimes 2 out of every 100 times they check. Which is the in-universe way of saying some people only get up to a 20% chance of contacting their god.
I mean, 20th level player characters get an auto success.
But yeah. Okay. But do you know anyone who has that spell?
No, not make an intelligence check. Oh.
Okay. 20.
The diviner in your party might have access to that spell.
Yeah. All right. All right. Well, if you can talk to him, if you get that 1 in 100 chance. The statue that was sent was pretty cool. And I'm gonna try and I'm part of the group that was doing the tower cleansing thing. We're gonna
Gashferon.
Yes! There is no escaping it now.
Oh my god.
Random NPCs know it. It's just going on. Official.
So I had a series of 3 D100s that I rolled to see how fast, how far, and how thoroughly it spread. And I rolled a 99, 98, and 95.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
I win.
Holy shit.
It's so beautiful.
Yes.
So everyone, within a day, people in other cities will know Gashferon.
I was more taken with the idea of, yeah, I'm on a tower cleanse right now.
Yep.
Also,
A+ stuff, Jeremy.
So,
Oh my.
So
oh.
Lulu's maneuver into the crowd and persuasion check has echoed throughout the known world.
Ripples in the pond.
Oh, that's okay. I guess that's our name now.
You guys didn't pick a name beforehand.
Because
we had.
party names is pretentious bullshit.
Anyway.
Yeah, there was plenty of opportunity for a name to be picked on a mutual basis.
No, so we're doing that, and if you could ask him to help us, I don't know. That was all.
I will bear that in mind.
All right, I leave, and I head back toward the Adventurers
Someone
Guild.
make me a D100 roll.
There we go.
Nope.
81.
They are not able to contact Core today.
Curses. All right. I head back to the Adventurers Guild because I don't know where everyone is.
Okay.
And I assume we're going back there.
Okay, so you head back to the Adventurers Guild. Is there anything you guys are doing while you're at the Misfits Respite before you end up turning in for the night?
I want to make sure that Harry doesn't get into any fights.
Harry, are you going to get into any fights?
Not unless someone starts shit with me.
Okay, yes, she understood well enough. Lulu is...
Gwyn's gonna just lean up against. Oh, sorry, Aaron.
No, go ahead.
Gwyn's just gonna lean up against Gashkar and try to not care about things.
Lulu's keeping a really curious eye on the patronage and establishment now, just because. Oh, that's more interesting than a random bar that's nice to outcasts.
Sure. Give me an insight check.
Cool.
So there's a wide variety of people here, and you're pretty certain. Occasionally, the waiter who you've learned his name Bertrand, will occasionally duck back into the kitchen, and another waiter will come out named who's a female, who's a very busty, like sort of classic identifier as fantasy tavern maid female.
Yeah.
You're pretty certain they're the same person.
Oh.
You get the feeling just from the way they move and interact that is the same person swapping back and forth between Bertrand and who you come to know as Bridget. And there's so you sort of feeling around and investigating. You get the feel that yes, this is a place where just about anybody can come to. There are humans that occasionally frequent. There are humans that seem to be from nations that you've never been to. There is a half orc, there's a half drow that occasionally wanders through. Lizard folk, kobolds, goblins. There's a bugbear that occasionally comes down from upstairs. And a hobgoblin wandering around, a tabaxi. All these people that you don't generally see in towns tend to converge here. And like the lighting is intentionally dim. You're gathered because of the drow proprietor and the half drow that sort of wanders through.
Making spaces accessible to the more underdarky races.
Yeah. It seems like that is this place's particular selling point. Is that
I like this place so much better than the Adventurers Guild.
Anyone regardless of who they are, where they're from, can come in and have a drink. And it seems to be particularly set up to be a smaller place, specifically for that as well.
Yep.
The Adventurers Guild is big and loud and noisy. Where here there are people that are, gaseous sentient gas in a robe that wanders around occasionally. So that's what you get for just sort of sitting around and feeling out the place.
Works for me.
So all of you eventually finish your night's drinking. There are rooms available here. if you want to get rooms here. Corbin has a room back at the Adventurers Guild. Eventually, you all get a long rest. Lulu, you attune to a book. Do you spend any time reading that book today?
I'm gonna spend as much time as I can if I can comprehend it.
Yeah, you can comprehend it. So we'll say you spend about 5 hours reading it tonight.
Okay.
Before you feel the need to go to sleep, because it's been fairly late.
48 hours, you said, for total?
It's 80 hours, I believe.
Oh, 80 hours. Okay. I'll start noting that down.
So, effectively 10 days. You spend a little time each day. You can get it done in 10.
Mm-hmm.
Before you get the other benefits, you get those 4 right off the bat, though. And yeah, you all reconvene. I'm assuming you all reconvene at Galadyr's Tower in the next day.
Yep.
Sure.
If Gwyn came back to the adventure,
I'm assuming. So who, if any, other than Corbin, would have gone back to the Adventurers Guild?
Gwyn was going to get a room here.
Right. So yeah, Corbin's the only one that returns to the Adventurers Guild.
Okay, never mind.
Yep.
All right. You reconvene at Galadyr's Tower in the morning, at which point you would see Gwyn.
I mean, let's get a room, then fall asleep at the table. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you end up sleeping there.
We get Harry a room.
In one form or another. Rooms are 5 silver a room for the night.
Yeah.
Corbin, do you tell Hope where they are?
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Cool.
I understand. I don't know all the intricacies that Selena had dealings with over there. I don't know if you do. I told them that it's probably not, as long as it's probably fine as long as they don't poke anything that they shouldn't.
Don't make any deals with something. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, that too. But yeah.
All right.
Gwyn and Gashkar at least seemed to, and Harry too, before she got super wasted. But that was like her I don't know when they started, so I don't know what she was on, but she was out when I left.
All right. Well,
I go talk to before I go to bed. I go talk to Tithian.
He's not in right now.
Okay. All right. I go. Okay.
The bartender, typically, if you want to leave a message for anybody.
Yeah, I'll leave a message for Tithian saying, if he could, I'll give him a description of my parents and say that they should be here within the next few days. I'll leave, if I have to leave any money for them to have some temporary room and board while I'm gone.
Yeah.
I'll leave that. I'll leave enough for a month. Or I'll leave like 50 gold if that'll cover.
Sounds good. All right. So you all get your long rest. Reconvene at the tower. At this point, Hope, you see Gwenfro.
okay.
Galadir is waiting inside. You are all currently outside, assuming you might want to talk about something before you go in.
I was wondering if I could get a replacement for the spell that's in here
Oh, yeah.
before we can do it tonight or something, because I still have one in here that's useful, but I wanted to be able to talk to a god.
Well, I mean, hypothetically, demigod be enough?
No, god.
All right, so here's the thing. No.
Why? You don't have the spell?
Generally, I'm familiar with the spells, but the incantations to actually get in touch with someone at the pinnacle of a divine pantheon are not something that is usually accessible at a whim or able to be. That would most likely require an extraordinarily long and expensive ceremony to guarantee that you are going to get in touch with a
How expensive?
specific. Well, I would need to do a bit of research and see. But the sort of things that you're talking about generally, the way the incantations are designed, you get in touch with someone who can answer your questions, sure. But not a
like sending that knocks on a god's door.
That is more of a, I mean, specifically for your god, that would be more of a clerical. We would have to go to one of the religious libraries to find that one specifically, and I would not be able to cast it into your hand. You would have to get someone who has that sort of divine vibration resonant. Anyway, you would have to get a cleric to cast that one into your hand. I can give you a spell that can get you in touch with demigods, ghosts of ancient wise wizards, entities from other planes who are deeply enhanced with the capacity for knowledge and borderline omniscience. It's a little stressful, and can be problematic if you don't have the mental fortitude to withstand the sort of reverberation. I can get you that one, and I'd be happy to, but it's not necessarily going to get you in touch with the specific god that you want. Whereas a cleric can generally get you hypothetically, it's a commune spell, I believe is what you're looking for. And you can briefly, I mean, the connection only lasts for a certain period of time, and you can only ask a certain number of questions because gods have rules, I suppose. Yes, that sort of thing. But I don't think I could pick that up. It's a different casting and energy than I'm facilitative with.
Oh wait, I don't have advantage on everything anymore. 9.
No, you don't. Sorry. That only lasts 8 hours.
Well, I think Gwen's saying a lot of complicated words, and he's trying to be as detailed and specific as possible because he's Gwen.
Yeah.
What is what are you hoping to get out of getting in contact with a god?
I'm hoping to ask a god for some questions or a favor.
Okay.
You're trying to make a bargain. Okay.
Yep.
Hope.
I know.
I thought you already did that. Like, I thought you were just trying to check all these things off a list, and that's one you've already done. You've already made a bargain with God twice.
2 different ones.
Okay. Hope, what's the outcome you're hoping for here? Words, names.
To stop a Void Lord.
Okay.
What Void Lord are you trying to stop?
The outcome,
the one that's making things.
Asking some questions of a god, and will let this be accomplished in the way you want to accomplish it.
I was going to ask Core for protection for the people in this city from things like that. Maybe I can't protect the world from them, but at least while we're finishing this tower and making sure this doesn't keep affecting here.
I feel like I know what the answer from Core, the god whom this city is named after, will be. And I feel like the answer will be, I'm already protecting the city because it's my city.
Well, he didn't do a very good job.
He's a god. He can't exactly intervene and reach down a hand individually without breaking everything.
I mean,
You already get a lecture about this from a lady who killed Snogged at one point.
I mean, you guys did get sent to kill the thing that attacked the city.
Yeah, but not before it killed people.
Kor is not a predictive god.
No.
So
I have high standards. Not living up to them.
No one can.
again, I'm a little bit confused about what you think. Do you think just talking to him he'll start doing more? Do you think he'll give you the power to intercede yourself?
I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe
that's an important thing to think about before marching up to gods and going, I want something, because
you can't tell what someone's going to say until you talk to them.
Yeah, but you can know what is important to you and what would be reasonable to expect. Like, I could go up to Harry and say, I want the city to be protected from
Harry's not a god.
Let's let this play out. Have his play.
From monsters. But I can also understand that generally the way Harry would go about that is by going and smacking the monsters with a hammer, with an axe or a hammer or something, a whole bunch.
Axe. I don't use hammers.
Okay, an axe a whole bunch. And I can sort of assume that if there are monsters to be killed, Harry is already on board and probably already going after them, and I probably should catch up before Harry gets there and gets the kill before me.
That's legit.
Sense? And like, if I ask Gwen for that, he'd probably be like, here's a magic barrier, here's a way of predicting the future, here's this and that.
Here's a bunch of bullshit.
Here's something really shiny. And Gashkar would probably be like, here's lightning and dragons.
Sounds very Gashkarian.
Sure.
Are you saying that that it wouldn't involve lightning and dragons?
I don't have a dragon. I have a wyvern.
Close enough.
You're ruining my metaphor. Gods are even more like only their thing. So what are you thinking that making another god deal will accomplish? Because I've been hearing that you're not happy with the god deals you've made so far.
No, I'm just trying to figure them out. Because they all don't talk to each other and figure anything out, apparently, because the one can't hear anything the other one is saying. It's great.
Wait, you're trying to figure out the god deals?
Yes.
That you've made. You've made.
Uh-huh.
And you're going to try and figure that out by making a deal with another one.
No, this is separate from that. That's another goal that I'm going toward.
I think you need to narrow down. I think you need to narrow down your goals right now.
And consider how the things you've already done have informed you about how the things you might want to do might turn out.
Like, also,
sorry. Okay, I have a story for you. When I was a kid, I thought clerics were really fucking cool because they could do stuff that normal people can't do. If you're taking from that I don't think clerics are normal people, you're right. But that's a side point. So I asked my parents what that would mean. Now they kind of knew me. They knew what I'm like. And you guys know what I'm like. I haven't changed that much. I'm going to be honest. So
I've known you for like 2 weeks.
Do you feel like you have an unclear picture of who I am?
No, I got you down pat.
Thank you. So what they told me was that, look, making getting in associations with gods is each one of those associations is really complex and real, and the way that they described it is like being in a room with a bunch of tripwires, you know, if you're not careful, you're gonna hit one of those tripwires. What you're doing right now is you're seeing the room with the tripwires, and you're like, if I run fast enough, none of those things can get me by the time I'm on the other side. Am I wrong?
I have a story too.
Uh-oh.
Oh my god, it's story time.
No, mine's short. So when I was little, after I was with Amarok, I thought that fire ants smelled really good. So I would stick my nose in there. And that hurts a lot. And so I learned not to do that. What you're doing is sticking your nose in a fire ant hill because it seemed like it would be a good idea. Getting bit and being kind of unhappy about that and wanting to get rid of the swelling. But also seeing the next fire ant hill over and saying that one also smells good and sticking your nose in that one. And I'm asking you why you're doing that because it doesn't make sense to me.
It's also
She wants
accurate.
somebody to help while we're not here. Right? The gods aren't doing one thing. The least they could do is help. They may be doing grander things on a much larger scale. But
why would you go to gods for help?
Thank you.
What about specifically having a conversation with Tor do you think is going to change that in a way that is productive and doesn't make you feel even worse than you already feel?
I don't know. That's why I wanted to try.
You've tried this twice before, though, and you've got the exact same result both times, didn't you?
I've tried more times than that.
Have you not gotten the exact same result each time?
No, I've gotten slightly different results.
I generally support the idea
Results
of,
may vary.
I generally support the idea of I don't know what's going to happen. That's why I want to try. Actually, I have no counter of this. I'm on Hope's side.
Thank you.
Hope.
I mean...
Hope. Do you think nobody else in this city is talking to the gods about protection? Because I guarantee in every temple, every day, you're special, but you're not that special. And the more that you keep trying to start, to chase, to pursue without actually finishing anything first, the less good you're going to do to this world. Because you'll be spreading yourself over a number of pursuits, trying to chase all of them at once, giving up on the ones that you haven't accomplished in order to take on the ones that suddenly catch your attention. You need to pick something and finish it. And once that is done, move on to the next thing. And I know you don't like being told what to do. And I'm not your father or your commander or anybody that you inherently have to listen to. You're a grown-ass woman and you can do what you want. But I don't think you've thought about your limits.
It also kind of seems like you just want to do things because you want to do them and not because they actually, not because of the impact they'll have, but because it's a thing to be doing.
And now everybody, and I'm talking to everybody at this point, everybody, we have given Hope a lot to think about, probably more than we needed to. So now we are going to stop this conversation. We're going to let her think and make her choices over the next couple days. And we are going to give her time to decide what to do with all of our subjective opinions. Is that understood by everyone?
I just have one question.
Is it a question for Hope or a question for me?
Both.
This is the last question.
Are you really not her dad? Because you guys look kind of alike, and I've assumed that this whole time.
No. Oh my god, no.
That is definitively a no.
Okay,
Oh,
that was bothering
could you
me.
imagine?
But I have a follow-up that's not targeted at Hope, so I get that. Gwen, didn't you say you just kind of started existing at one point, and didn't Hope grow up in a temple? How do you know?
Hope is very
that's
clearly
good.
No.
an ASMR.
Okay,
Which,
so you shacked up with a deity. That's fine.
Make me a medicine check, Gwynferon.
yes, the best.
Also, I am causing chaos. Lulu doesn't really care.
The fact that Hope is an ASMR does not disclude Hope from potentially being your child.
Yes.
Oh god.
We have created a new theory about
because ASMR are people whose divine blood has come through strongly enough to manifest characteristics of that divinity. That does not preclude them from having been born from anybody. Hope, existing as Hope does, could have been born from an orc, an elf, a human, a bugbear, any number of things.
I mean, I'm just going to say this.
So long as it was a humanoid. That's the only requirement.
I'm just going to say this. According to your supposed weird previous people thing, right? Which is bullshit, but okay, I'm going to go with it. Like apparently 4 of us or something, but Hope's not. So why would Hope be here if she didn't have a relation?
Oh, that actually makes a lot of sense.
God, no.
But we're not supposed to be
Corbin's
targeting questions at
Corbin's here
Hope.
because Corbin and Hope are a thing, so that's where that connection comes in.
Gwynfron, you also know someone who could answer this question.
Is he inside the tower?
Yeah, he's right over there.
Fine. We'll lay this to rest. Everybody inside. Let's go.
Okay.
As the GM has the most
really
evil.
Legit. I really want this to be true all of a sudden.
And as we start walking there, all of a sudden Gwyn is just like, this is the funniest bloody shite I've seen in a long time.
It's not funny.
It's hilarious.
It's bloody fucking hysterical is what it is.
Also, it's possibly true. So, and if it is true...
If it is true, this is going to be amazing.
Please let me.
So, you walk inside.
Gwyn is 87 years old, for what that matters.
You find Galadir.
Can you please tell them that I'm not her father?
He looks at you, looks at her. I'm going to need blood samples. And he holds up a needle. You don't know where he got the needle from. He just holds up a needle.
hand.
He takes a sample of Gwynferon's blood.
Could you imagine the implications of you potentially being Hope's father and then me being thrown into the mix?
Does that make you Corbin's like aunt-in-law? No, I don't know how civilization works.
He looks over at Hope.
Hey, no, wait. Hang on a moment.
See, know why? You know why? Because she doesn't want to know the truth. It scares her.
Can I sleight of hand a sample of Hope's blood?
No.
It's not a sleight of hand thing.
I'm a
This is
blood
stabbing someone
hunter who
thing.
has magical bloodmancer ability.
Yes, but no. It's not something you can do subtly.
First off, what are you doing with that after this? I don't want you to have a sample of my blood, just in general. I don't want anyone to.
After I make a test, it won't be usable for anything else.
Can you burn it up and just, I don't want it to exist anymore.
Sure.
Okay?
Would you like to make an insight check?
Yeah. If he's lying, I have a minimum of 17. Yeah.
Except for
Minimum
when you roll a natural 1, when your minimums
God
don't matter.
damn it.
You cannot, and really you've never have been able to.
No.
You cannot read Galadir. You have no idea what he's thinking right now. Gwynferon,
Goddamn brick wall.
You're never gonna
Gwynferon,
read on that guy.
Gwynferon, you can tell Galadir does not give a shit.
Right.
He's not going to use his blood for anything other than a test.
Right. He's a very sort of experiment kind of guy.
Yeah.
To answer your question, though, I think that would make me Corbin's stepmother-in-law, but only if they were actually married.
And also, if he was actually her father, we don't have to test this theory. We can just all agree, no. Right here, right now.
No, I don't agree.
Wouldn't you rather have this resolved?
No.
Yes.
I don't care either way. It's up to
You
hope.
want to go talk to a god because you feel like that's a thing that's being left hanging. Just, I can assure you that the blood will not be usable for anything else because blood is sort of my area of expertise.
I mean, if you don't want to,
Insight
that's
check.
fine.
Sure, make an insight check.
Okay.
If you don't want
Roll a
to,
one.
that's fine.
There we go.
I will just take that as confirmation that it's true.
Lulu is not lying.
Yeah. She's not terribly convincing, but she's not lying.
He's gonna stand there
Sure,
and
fine, whatever. I hold my hand out.
He jabs you with a needle, draws out some
I'm
blood.
leaving now.
Okay.
I desperately want to know the answer to this.
I'll go out with
If you want to, if you follow me, and he
I'm following.
He heads up a couple of floors. You see 3 more Galadir on the way.
Right.
And he stops at a laboratory where he goes
G
over
money,
to a vial.
G track, G dizzle.
He goes over to a series of vials and tubes and injects the two blood samples into the machinery. And as he's performing that, Hope and Corbin, you guys go outside.
This is a fuck day to
Yeah.
start the day.
Yep. Uh-huh.
We were supposed to be in the mountains fighting dragons or some shit.
That sounds preferable right now.
Yeah.
So you guys just waiting outside for the results?
No,
I'm going.
No,
I'm
not
in
you.
the lab.
Those two.
Oh,
those
okay.
two, specifically
Oh,
Hope and
those.
Corbin.
yeah.
We'll just wait until we're called, I guess.
No, I'm not.
All right.
Well, we're waiting. I'm like, so we're in agreement, right? No matter what it says, we tell them that it proved.
No. We're in agreement that no matter what it says, we tell them nothing
I
We
like.
just
until they ask.
I like this.
we look at each other, and when they ask, we all look at each other meaningfully and murmur amongst ourselves before we tell them anything.
Assholes. Assholes.
This is
I think this was gonna go.
This is a party full of assholes. Everyone in this party is an
Hope doesn't
asshole.
want to know.
I'm pretty sure at one point we tried to name our group Fistful Ass.
I am an archetypical fantasy trickster werewolf. What makes you think I'm not an asshole?
So eventually, Galadir sort of explains the process to anyone who will listen, which is Gwynferon.
Which is And Gash.
So as the blood is filtered through several times, and he'll basically explain that basically he's filtering his blood through to sort of get certain aspects of it that he will match up against each other, and in the process he'll also be able to determine certain things about the blood while it's going through. As it's going through, he does raise an eyebrow. Well, at least part of Hope's parentage is indeed an elf.
Facepalm.
Yeah.
As you see one thing sort of light up. The other's also an elf. If Hope had not been an Aasimar, Hope would have been a full-blooded elf. That's interesting. Fascinating. Keeps going through.
Ben's going back, trying to remember all of the girlfriends that he can remember.
I don't care how this turns out. That was the greatest line I have ever said in a game.
And especially hilarious because Hope has ancestry powers specifically.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, that's interesting. He says, as the results conclude. Gwynferon,
Yes.
you are not the father.
Yes, I'm
Okay.
glad you put it that way.
What am I then?
You are a high elf.
You are
But not like the uncle or the.
you are her father's
There is
brother's
Second-
cousin's
there is
nephew's second roommate.
There is a distant relation between the two of you, but distant insofar as you both come from the same tribe of elves. Which is interesting, but not actually meaningful in any relationship way. Distant, like, you are related in the same way, the two of you are related in the same way that I am related to you. In that we are both elves. And
Reasonable.
We are both a particular breed of elf.
All right. Well, thank you for clearing that up at least. Harry, are you satisfied?
I mean, I don't trust Galadir, but sure. For now. Not really, but I won't push the issue.
You wouldn't be satisfied unless you got the answer you wanted, though.
You don't know that.
I do know that.
No, you don't.
I know you, Harry. We've already established it doesn't take a long time to get a good read of you.
I have no response to that.
All right. Well, let's go get the other two and make our way to the Dragon Peaks then.
Come, I will meet you in the teleportation room. And he moves down.
We'll be there in just a few minutes.
You all go down the stairs. You don't see him get off the stairs, but you find yourselves in the lobby without him.
All I'm saying is that Harry has a headcanon and will refuse to get it to
I reject your reality and substitute my own.
Uh-huh.
As long as Harry never gets access to the wish spell, we're fine.
Oh my god.
Oh my god! I need to wish
Guys, we need to go on a quest for the Dragon Balls, but we're not asking for someone's briefs this time. We're asking for relationships to be rewritten.
Corbin, Hope, let's be on our way.
All right.
So, the group of you convene in the teleportation room.
I was waiting for you to be like, you're not the father, you're actually her brother.
Galadir seems to be thinking about something as you arrive.
I'm gonna look at him. So what was interesting about that test when you finished it?
Oh, simply the fact that they are so very closely related, but not distinctly.
Like future prophet stuff like Gwen can do, or
No. More like I find it interesting when those who are bound by a connection of blood or otherwise find themselves circling around the same location.
That sounds like confirmation to me. That's all I'm going to say.
Regardless.
I rewrote my blood bonds. I don't really care.
Where in the Dragon Peaks are you looking to go?
Gwyn
Right,
will
where are we
describe. Yep. Gwyn will describe the peak that what's his name?
Her name. I remember
No.
that.
He Maxim Dantilus gave us information on. And Penarth, as far as her domain and description goes. Roughly thereabouts.
All right, so you're trying to go see Penarth.
Yes. And by see, we don't really anticipate that it's just going to be a nice little chat and then we'll be on our way. But yes.
Yes, because that's okay. He thinks for a moment, holds out his hand, and his staff appears in it. And he twirls it around a moment, taps it on the ground, and then just sort of using the bottom of his staff, rips open a hole in reality. Okay, step through.
I know where he got that staff out of game. From a different world. No.
No. That one you just focus on. This one he physically grabs and.
Yeah.
Gwyn will go through first if nobody else is inclined to.
Apollo.
All.
Where are we going again?
Dragon Peaks.
Dragon Peaks.
Why?
We're gonna fight a
Keep
dragon,
dragon.
because
Oh.
I want a whip thing.
Fight a dragon. Okay, that's all I needed to know.
So you pile through the portal and find yourselves in the fairly frosty climate of a mountain range, standing just below the peak of a series of mountains that you can see defined clearly against the horizon in front of you. There are wyverns flying through the air that you can see, and off in the distance is Ice Pelt, who I'm assuming came with you because
Yes.
you're going to the Dragon Peaks.
Yes.
Ice Pelt sort of rears his head back and sort of cries up to the sky. You hear a subsequent familial cry echoing down through the air, and up in the distance you see the white scaled hide of
Stanavdad?
yes, if Stunadad, crawling across the crawling out of a cave in the mountain range to look over at where you all are. This massive ancient white dragon. And at that point, we will end for the week. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.